of the things I raised and others raised, I wasn't the only one who raised this at the G7, is that we don't know, we haven't had access to the laboratories to determine whether or not, I have not reached a conclusion because our intelligence community is not certain yet, whether or not this was a consequence.
There is an enormous amount of evidence that there was a leak from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. There's a pile of evidence 100 feet high.
Do you believe that the virus came from a lab leak from the Wuhan Institute?
I do.
All right, so Mike Pompeo thinks it was from a lab leak, but his progress with the president, because for the longest time, a lot of Democrats poo-pooed the whole idea of the lab leak. Dan Bongino never did. He is the host of the Dan Bongino Show, streaming daily on Fox Nation, and host of Unfiltered with Dan Bongino, a big hit on Saturday nights here on Fox News. Dan, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for that promotion there. I appreciate it. It's been a real joy doing the show.
It's great to have you as a part of the Fox family, of course. So what do you make of this, the way Joe Biden has evolved on the lab leak?
Yeah, I love how they evolved from it was a total conspiracy and you're all wackos to then some mainstream media coverage gets out there where people finally wake up to the fact that this may be real the entire time, and now it's called an evolution. That's not an evolution. What an evolution, Steve, would be is, hey, we don't have the information yet. Let's make an informed, fact, data point-based decision. That's not what they did. What they said is people like you, me, and others at the network who are open to alternate explanations, they called us wackos and kooks and conspiracy theorists and nuts.
They froze your social media accounts.
Lock people out of social media. So, you know, again, to the leftists, let's not pretend that this was some kind of, oh, we were just trying to wait and see. You weren't. And by the way, guys, the evidence was everywhere. You know, I went through it on my Saturday night show on Fox. I went through it piece by piece in a 12-minute monologue. You know, these viruses, guys, they have a code, just like a computer code, made up of bases, cytosine, guanine, these other things. You don't have to be an advanced scientist to figure this out. This double CGG code in the coronavirus and COVID-19, we have not found it in nature anywhere. No. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. We have not found it. But you know where we have found it? With lab researchers who insert that code in gain-of-function research to make these viruses superviruses. That is in COVID-19. And you know what's really convenient? The Wuhan lab researcher who got money from the EcoHealth Alliance and the taxpayer omitted that double CGG code in her analysis of the virus so that no one would see it.
Hey, Dan.
I mean, again, the evidence was everywhere.
Dan, what can we do if this is true and it was a lab leak? What do we do to hold China accountable?
We need to expand a Magnitsky-type sanction against Chinese government officials and their regime. It's what we've done against, you know, Russian oligarchs who were involved in the killing of Magnitsky. I mean, you should not be allowed to have you or your kids anywhere in the country if you're part of a communist regime that unleashed this pandemic that killed millions of people. It would stop it right away. They send, guys, you got to remember, they send their kids to college here, too. Yeah. That's what's really going to hurt. They have bank accounts here, a lot of these people. Money, follow the money every single time. You want to sting? That would sting big time.
Yeah, also, they become spies here, which is fascinating. And a lot of the private colleges want the Chinese money, so they're going to go to bat to make sure they're never banned from the campus. We've seen that. That's part of the strategy.
Yeah, look at the Confucius Institutes. I mean, listen, there's been a big Chinese propaganda effort within the United States for years. You know, I played at the end of my monologue on the Saturday show, Yuri Bezmenov, a Soviet defector in 1982, who warned about this. Infiltrate the educational apparatus in a country, and you'll destroy the population from the inside out. It's not hard to do. We were warned. We just didn't listen.
You're right about that. All right, Dan, thank you very much for joining us live from, I believe you're down in Florida. Have a great podcast and radio show, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, guys.